Hey everybody, how are you doing? I missed you all. Crazy busy 2 weeks. I was away at the pastor's wife's retreat and leaders retreat, but it was such a blessing. And my eyes are still a little funny, but I think I can get through this. But we are on the 5th I am of Jesus. Remember we talked about whatever you need, he's it. He is whatever you need. He's the I am. You need comfort, he's your comfort. If you need bread, he's your bread. If you need water, he's the living water. You need light, he's the light. So we are going to look at the 5th one. Are you dead, lifeless, or grieved over a loved one's death? Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. And I want to read this to you. John chapter 11, one of the greatest chapters. Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. That's pretty popular. They named the town after them. But it was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair. Oh, I love that story. I know we talked about that a couple times ago. You know, that fragrance was so pungent that Jesus smelt that on the cross. And fragrance can be a comfort. You know, so everybody's so big on the oils, essential oils. You smell this, you smell peppermint if you're nauseous or you want to wake up. You smell lemon or you smell something calming. But just this oil was proof of her devotion for the Lord. She wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore, the sisters went to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. What a great way to put it. He whom you love is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. I just love that. This is so precious. Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. And you can put your name in there. Jesus loves us. So when he heard the news that he was sick, he quickly ran to go heal him. No, it says he stayed there 2 more days in the place where he was. And that does not make sense. That does not make sense. He stayed there 2 more days. And then after this, he said, let's go to Judea again. Then the disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews have sought to stone you, and are you going there again? Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him. You know, if you're stumbling today, could it be that you're not taking the light with you? You know, you take Jesus wherever you go. You take the light wherever you go. There's no darkness in him. So if you find yourself stumbling over and over again, I think you need to take your lamp with you. I think you need to take Jesus with you. But he said these things, he said, and after that he said to him, our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him. Then his disciples said, the clueless disciples, and we would have done the same thing, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought that he was speaking about taking rest. Then Jesus said to them plainly, verse 14, Lazarus is dead, guys. Look at me. Lazarus is dead. I am glad that I was, for your sakes, that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. Then Thomas, who is called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, this is pretty cool, let us go also, that we may die with him. Okay, that's good. You got to hand it to him. Let's go that we may die with him. I love those missionaries that were told, what are you doing here? This is such a dangerous place. You could die. And they said, that's why we came here. We came here to die. What a great mentality. But now, okay, when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb 4 days. Now, Bethany was near Jerusalem and about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him. But Mary was sitting in the house. You know, there's a time to sit and there's a time to run after Jesus. You know, there's a time to sit still and there's a time to get up. But I love how, of course, Martha's a what do you call it, go-getter. She's running after Jesus. And again, now Martha said to Jesus, oh gosh, and tone is everything. We almost wish we could hear the tone. You can say something and it means something totally different by the tone. You could say it angrily and it means something else. Or you could say it so kindly and it means something else. But Who knows how she said this? Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. I don't know. Or maybe she said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. I don't know. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. That's great. That's faith. Whatever you ask of God, he'll give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, Martha, look at me. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, or though he's dead, yet shall he live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? I love that. She said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is to come into this world. And when she has said these things, she went away secretly, called Mary and her sister, saying, the teacher has come and is calling for you. And as soon as she heard that, she rose quickly and came to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha met him. Then the Jews who were with him in the house, comforting her, when they saw that Mary rose quickly, she went out, followed her, saying, she is going to the tomb to weep there. Then when Mary came where Jesus was, she saw him and fell down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Therefore, when Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaned in his spirit and was troubled. And he said, where have you laid him? Then they said to him, Lord, come and see. And one of the shortest but most important verses in the Bible, verse 35, Jesus wept. Can you just picture it? Jesus wept. Oh, wouldn't you love to see? Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, see how he loved him. See how he loved him. And some of them said, could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind also have kept this man from dying? Then Jesus, again groaning in himself, came to the tomb, and it was a cave, and a stone lay against it. Jesus said, take away the stone. And this is, it's not a funny story, but this part is a little bit funny. Martha said, the sister of him who was dead, said to him, Lord, by this time he's going to stink. Okay. Lord, by this time there will be a stench, for he has been dead 4 days. That'll do it. But Jesus said to her, did I not say to you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? Okay, that's for us today. Didn't I say to you, if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? Oh gosh, I want to see the glory of God. Yes, Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. I want to see the glory of God. Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me. Now, when they had said these things, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. Now, I love, again, Jesus is always personal. I love how he calls us by name. But if he didn't call him by name, it would have been Night of the Living Dead. Everybody would have come forth. Wouldn't that have been a sight? But Lazarus, come forth. Sorry, you guys are not ready yet. Lazarus, come forth. And he who had died came out bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was wrapped also with a cloth. Jesus said to them, loose him and let him go. What a picture. I know you could spend hours on this little thought alone. How many of us hobble out of the tomb, hop out of the tomb, but still bound up. We're not free yet. Yes, we're alive. That's wonderful. But we're still all tied up. And that's where our friends come in. Sometimes you can't unwrap yourself. You can't unwrap yourself. You need help. I need help. Somebody has to help me unwrap, get all the band-aids off, get all the bondage off. Loose him and let him go. What a picture. Then many of the Jews who had come to Mary and had seen the things Jesus did believed in him, but some of them went away. Some of them went away to the Pharisees and told them of the things Jesus did. You would think, talk about, I don't know, evil, stupidity, pride. Somebody was raised from the dead. You'd think you'd go, yeah, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to be a Christian now. Yeah, I'm not going to be a Pharisee anymore. Who does? I mean, man, we're so evil. We're so wicked. We're so wayward. I don't get it. Go to the Pharisees and go tattle and see what things that Jesus did. Then the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered a council and said, what shall we do? What do you mean, what shall you do? You should proclaim him the Christ. Fall on your knees and follow him. Repent. What shall we do? For this man works many signs. And if we let him alone like this, everyone will believe in him. Oh, that's terrible. A kind person that can raise the dead, person that can help. Oh no, we can't let him stay around. People will believe in him. Wow. And the Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation. Oh, there we go. It's about you. You know, anytime you stop something good from happening, or somebody else being exalted because of you losing your position, yikes. That's not good. Let God exalt you. God will put you in a place better than you could even put yourself. But you know, we're supposed to stay at the foot of the cross. That's the happiest place to be, the foot of the cross, rejoicing that Jesus has the power to raise the dead, that Jesus raised you from the dead and unwrapped your grave clothes. These Pharisees are just unbelievable. And then one of Caiaphas, the high priest that year, said to them, you know nothing at all. Okay, here's a good one. Nor do you consider that it's expedient or it's imperative for us that one man should die for the people, and not that the whole nation should perish. Now this is did not say of his own. He did not say this of his own authority, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus would die for the nation. Okay, there's one redeeming thing. He was actually prophesying from God, and not for that nation only, but also that he would gather together in one the children of God who were scattered abroad. That's profound. Because of his death, he's going to gather us all. We're all far from God. He's going to gather us all in. Then from that day on, sadly, they plotted to put him to death. Therefore, Jesus no longer walked openly among the Jews, but went from there into the country near the wilderness to the city called Ephraim, and there remained with his disciples. Anyway, just wow. You can't make this stuff up. This is just an amazing chapter. And you know what hope we have. What hope we have, because death is so final. You know, any of those of us who've lost a loved one, we grieve every day. You never get over it. But you think, I'll see them again one day. I'll see my mom again one day. I hope I'll see my dad again one day, but I'll see my son again one day, just because you miss him so much. But how I love the thought that Jesus has the power. Nobody's too far gone. You know, I guess, again, my son was so far gone from the Lord. And when people would ask me, so how's your son? It got to the point where I said, remember when Lazarus was in the grave? Yeah. And remember when he was in the grave stinking? Yeah. Well, that's where my son is. That's how bad it is. But isn't that when God raised Lazarus from the dead, or he raises something so bad from the dead? Death cannot hold Jesus. Nothing is too powerful for Jesus. Nothing can overcome him. I just love that. Yeah, he can call them back from the grave. So cool. But you know what? The prayers of a mom. Never stop praying for your prodigals. I talk to so many of your moms. Keep praying for your children. And again, God had to just fill that spot when my mother passed away. Or actually, first when we moved to New Jersey, I thought Lloyd was crazy. But I thought, oh no, I don't want to leave my mom and my dad and my friends. I'm going to miss them so much. And you know, my sisters. And I'll never forget, the Lord just said, I'm going to be your I am. I'm going to be your mom. I'm going to be your dad. Everything you left in California, I will be it. He's the I am. How amazing is that? But the power of a mom's prayers, you know, never lose hope. Nobody is ever too far gone. Look at Lazarus was in the grave stinking, okay? Doesn't get worse than that. And I'm going to have to finish this the next time, but I just think of John Bunyan. The guy could curse anybody under the table, and he wrote the Pilgrim's Progress. He was in jail for preaching Christ. He found the Lord. How amazing is that? I know he had a praying mother. John Newton had a praying mother and a praying wife, and he was so far gone. The man that wrote Amazing Grace. Nobody knows how bad. You have to read a biography of John Newton to find out. It's X-rated, how bad he was. Oh my goodness. Yeah, God saved him. And Franklin Graham, I love how his mother, Ruth Graham, and Billy prayed for him, and he came back to the Lord. I love the Hound of Heaven. I love the whole concept of it. If you've never looked it up, look up. It's like 3 or 4 pages long. It's worth it. But the Hound of Heaven, this opiate addict, Francis Thompson, depressed, running from God. And he was so annoyed that God kept every step. God was there. Every beat, God was there. He couldn't lose God. Till God finally says, do you see anybody else running after you? Do you see anybody else that loves you that much? And he realized, oh, there is nobody else. Nobody's running after me. God says, exactly. You run from me, you're going to run from life. You run from me, you're going to run from love. And on he goes. You run from me, you're running from everything good. But this one little last poem. All which I took from you, I did not take for your harms, but just that you would seek these things in my arms. All this child mistakes, fancies as lost, I have stored for you at home. Rise up, clasp my hand, and come. You know why I think of heaven now every single day? Because my loved ones are up there. Yes, I have loved ones down here. Love my husband, love my children, love my grandchildren. But wow, I think about heaven every single day because of who is up there. You know, just like when my granddaughter was little and she loves Cheerios, and I'd give her a little bag of Cheerios. Why? Because if I gave her the whole box, she'd be off and running. See ya, Bima. See you later. But if I gave her a little bag of Cheerios, as soon as they ran out, she'd have to come back and get more, And that's why Jesus doesn't give us everything we want. So we have to keep going back to him every minute, every hour, however big your bag of Cheerios is. He knows how often he wants you back in his arms. So I hope that blesses you. And we will finish the next, this I Am next week. God bless you.